Hi, Stephen from APC Physio here. So we're going to go through one of our Pilates flows today. So we're going to do some of our banded work. So we're going to do some banded side steps, some banded kickbacks, and then finish with some glute stretches because we'll be working the glutes and the hips. So you're going to need a band obviously to do this. So if we pop the bands on, we're actually going to go around, we'll start above the ankles actually. So if you pop the bands on above the ankles, and we're just going to start by simplifying this a little bit. In fact, the first thing we might even do is just shuffle the hips out a little bit, just loosening the hips, slightly warming them up, I suppose, just for what's to come. And we're going to pop the hands on the hips, do a little bit of a squat, and we're just going to step with the right leg as far as you can, and then slowly coming back in, stepping out, and slowly back. So we're getting the basics of this movement because when people do these exercises, they often go way too quick and the band is just pulling them along. So just slow and controlled. We're doing it based on time anyway, so it doesn't matter how quick you go. Well, it does. It's quick is not good. So the bigger you go with the step, the harder it's going to be. The more you sit into a squat, the harder it'll be as well. Making sure we're not coming back quickly. And trying not to slide the foot either. So big slow step out, big slow step back. One more here. And we can relax at that. We'll take a few seconds and we're going to switch over sides. So making sure you have enough room in your left. A little bit of a squat again and again. Big slow step with the left leg. Big slow step back. Just working through these ones. Keeping your breathing going, exhaling as you step out and inhaling, stepping back if possible. And again, staying in a little bit more of a squat if it's not too challenging. One more if we can. And we can relax with that all done. Good job. And we'll just do a few hip shuffles like before. Loosening those out. So we're not really thinking about leaning to the side. You will lean to the side a little bit, but more about getting your hips from side to side. And we'll ease out that all done. Okay. So this time we're going to do double step each way. So again, a little bit of a squat as much as you can manage. One step and then another step and then going back and forth. So again, as much of a squat as you can manage. Slow, big steps. And again, it's about that control. So you're not going quickly. We're not going like that, letting the band pull our legs along. It's slow and control the whole time. That's good. Five seconds if you can. And we can relax with that all done. And we'll take a few seconds. And we'll actually, this time, we'll just do a few circular motions through the hips. Just loosening things out there. And we're going to switch direction. Same thing, the other way. Loosening those. And we can relax with that all done. So I'm going to do one more of these in standing. So we're going to adjust the bands. So we're going to adjust the bands around the feet, like so. And it's going to make things a little bit harder. It's going to work slightly different muscles at the hip as well. And we want the bands more towards the front of the foot, rather than the ankles. And we're going to go to one edge of the mat. So just carefully get into one edge. And the last bit of piece of information is you want the feet pointing forward throughout. So we're now going to be walking along and then walking back. So if you go into a little bit of a squat, as low as you can, and then a big step, following with the leg, working your way down. If you look down at your feet, just make sure they're pointing forward the whole time, all the way down to one end of the mat, and then working your way back. And again, we're going with big, slow steps, trying not to slide the feet. All the basics we got from the first two versions. And this is kind of bringing all that together, working things out a little bit more. Keep that breathing going. That's good. A few more seconds if you can. Five seconds. And we can relax with that. Well done. Great job. We will take a few seconds there and we're going to try, we're actually going to keep the bands where they are, but we're going to be on our hands and knees. So if you need to take the band off and just carefully get into your hands and knees, that's fine. But if possible, trying to make your way down onto your hands and knees. And from here then, the challenge with this position is not to lose the band. So if you just make sure to keep the tiptoes on the floor like so, and just keeping the feet apart so we don't lose the band. Maybe we might just do a few hip shuffles here. Again, you may feel a tiny stretch on the muscles we were working beforehand. Loosening those out. Okay, now we're going to go into some kickbacks here. So just making sure you have enough room behind you. We're going to keep the tiptoes on the floor. We're going to straighten out our right leg like so. So if you look at my 2 feet, the tips of my toes are on the floor. And with my left foot, I have to keep the foot pulled up towards the head, otherwise I lose the band. From here then, we're going to exhale as we raise up that right leg, keeping the knee fully straight. Inhaling back down. Exhaling, going up. Inhaling down. So my leg is the only thing that's moving really. Arms are still, spine is still. Exhaling, going up as high as you can. Inhaling back down and just working through those. The higher you go, the harder it's going to be. Five seconds if you can. And we can relax. So that's taking a few seconds before we switch over sides. You can maybe just throw in a few hip shuffles there again. And we're going to switch over sides. So we're going to straighten out our left leg. Again, knee is fully locked out, it's fully straight. Exhaling as you raise that leg up. Inhaling down and just working through these. Continuing to breathe throughout. The higher you go, the harder it's going to be. And we'll relax with that. And we're just going to fold back into our child's pose position, dropping the head to the ground if you can. And just slowing your breathing down. And we'll make our way back up from there. All done. So we're going to just try one more of each of these before a quick stretch. We'll see if we can hold it though. So if you get your tiptoes into positions again, straightening out your right leg, Again, make sure their leg is fully straight, and we're going to raise that up even an inch, 2 inches, 3 inches. The higher you go, the harder it's going to be, and we're just going to hold that position. Again, try not to let that knee bend at all, continuing to breathe throughout. Five seconds. And slowly lowering down. Well done. Good job. And a couple of little hip shuffles before we go to the other side. We're going to go for the same thing. So straightening out your left leg, keeping that fully straight, raising the leg up as high as you can, holding that position, continuing to breathe throughout. Two, one, slowly lowering down. Well done. We're going to slip those bands off, which shouldn't be too hard from that position, and we're going to just finish with a bit of a glute stretch there, since that's where you were probably feeling the burn most of the time. So if you lie onto your back there first, and we're going to do a stretch you probably haven't done before, where we're going to lie on our back. We're going to go left hand to our right ankle, left hand, right ankle, and then you're just pulling your foot across the body, trying to touch the floor, but trying to keep it as away from your left leg, basically, so not close to the left leg. And you're just aiming to reach the floor. You're very likely feeling a very good stretch in your right glute here. And we'll ease out that, and we'll switch over sides. Same thing. Right hand, left ankle, pulling that foot across the body, aiming to touch the floor as close as you can. Just making sure to keep it away from your right leg. And we'll ease out of that. Hold on. Good job. Yeah, so that's a little banded flow, mainly working on the glutes and the hips. If you have any questions, leave them below, or comments either, leave those below. Move well, feel well, be well.